well-coordinated party, some of these features are going to be insanely powerful. But even if they're not very well coordinated, these features are still going to be pretty powerful.
Yeah, and more so, at those parties that aren't coordinated, they will learn to coordinate more.
Yes.
Because they'll be like, ah, crap, I'm out of range this time. Next time, they're not going to be out of range whenever they want to set themselves up in danger, right? They're going to have the conscious thought to be like, okay, I do want to look like an idiot and dive in and kill myself, but can I do that while I'm within 30 feet of the cleric? And then you have a little bit more fun while still doing dumb things, but getting the benefits, starting to think a little bit more tactically. Love this deeply.
Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we are tackling another cleric domain. This time it's peace. Far out.
I am on the record saying I don't love these archetypes. I largely don't love these kinds of, like, the pacifism archetypes. I largely don't love them because the characters' motivations need to still be aligned with a party that's willing to kill things. And that can be a bit of a dilemma and cause some out-of-game annoyance and strife. That's not to say that you can't have a good time with the peace domain cleric at a table. It's not like the Oath of Pacifism or whatever. There's a paladin order that does the same thing. Paladin Oath that does
Right,
the
the
same
one
thing.
with hold person.
Yeah, you'll never get over. But this fits a similar role. If you're going to play this option, agnostic of how we review it and how we, what end of rating we give it, come in with the expectation that this character cannot be purely pacifist. You are expected to kill things. You are expected to help kill things at some points in time. This game involves monsters that players slay. With that expectation, you can still have characters that want violence to be a last resort. You can still have characters that are, willing to try and seek other means, show mercy where possible, right? Those kind of characters definitely can exist. But temper your expectations. Favor more so playing the roleplay elements of it a little bit more so out of combat than in combat, and whenever combat is necessary, just do it. Just have fun, kill things, use your abilities in a defensive manner when you want to, but do actually help end combats. Don't just sit there casting Healing Word in passing, because that's not going to be fun for you or your party members.
Right.
Diving in now?
Yes.
Okay. So we have a domain spell list like all clerics get. You get these auto-prepared at 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 9th level. Their most interesting ones tend to be the ones that aren't already cleric spells. There aren't a lot of those here. So you get Heroism and Sanctuary as our first level slots. I'm not particularly high on either of these, and I hate that Sanctuary is here because Sanctuary kind of tells you, oh, what if you just cast Sanctuary on yourself that didn't do anything all combat? Wouldn't that be funny? And I hate that. I hate that a lot, actually. So don't fall into that trap.
Certainly does seem to be encouraging you to go that direction.
Yeah. Heroism alternatively is like you're trying to bolster someone, give them confidence, get them in there, get them 10 HP. You want to stay safe, you want them to take damage so they can get that hit points back over and over again. It's a fine supportive option. Use Sanctuary as like a get out of jail free, like not even free. A try to get a ally out of danger kind of situation where it's like, okay, fighting's no longer working, we're seeking peace, you get a Sanctuary, get out of there. That's where I would expect to use it. Frankly, both are usable, and at least Heroism isn't a cleric spell.
Yeah.
3rd level, get Aid and Warding Bond. Aid is fine. It being auto-prepared will be an easy place to just dunk spell slots. Sure. It's a cleric spell already, so you could have prepared it anyway, which is not great. And honestly, so is Warding Bond, also already a cleric spell. This one is clunky. It gives a +1 AC, and you get to share hit points with somebody, which is interesting, especially if like you're playing that character that's backline, trying not to get hit, and then you use Warding Bond to kind of give them your hit points. There's some use and interest there. I just don't think it's that powerful. Then we have 2 real stinkers. We got Beacon of Hope, which is hot trash. It lets you max healing on healing rolls, and that's Garbaggio. It also gives advantage on whiz saves, which might matter sometime. That's kind of neat. That's the only time you'll bust it out, but hey, at least it's auto-prepared, so whenever you like stumble into the 5 billion whiz save monster, you can be like, hey, wait, I got something for this Beacon of Hope. You have any stronger feelings about that?
If somebody's casting some healing spells, you might as well use it.
I mean, it's cost you a spell slot still. You don't want to spend the spell slot. I'd rather just have that use of a Revivify banked over casting this.
If somebody's casting a lot of healing,
then you don't need this, right? Because getting a lot of healing. Go watch Beacon of Hope video. It goes into it deeply. Sending
I
is
know.
there.
I'm just saying,
You were
like,
there.
as long as you've got it, you might occasionally come up with use for it.
Doubt it. Other option you get is sending, and sending is fine. It's a long distance communication tool. It's already a cleric spell, and you would probably have prepared this whenever you had downtime, which is when you would use it. Like after an adventure, you send back to a town or something. So getting it as auto prepared spell kind of sucks. 7th level, we get Aura of Purity and Resilient Sphere. Aura of Purity is the worst of the aura spells if memory serves. Each non-hostile creature in the area can't become diseased, has resistance to poison damage, and has a advantage on saving throws against conditions that blind, charm, deafen, frighten, paralyze, poison, or stun you. So if you're in
That's potentially useful.
in narrow scenarios, yeah, you'll cast it. Again, it being auto-prepared is a boon here. It used to be Paladin exclusive, which made it more interesting here, but then it got grandfathered into the Cleric class in, I think, Tasha's when they updated the spell lists, so you just get it now for free. Still, most encounters you're not going to use it. In the few against Basilisks, you might be like, okay, we don't, oh, that doesn't work because they petrify. Against poisonous scorpions, you'll be like, okay, great, Aura of Purity, maybe. Concentration's still iffy with that. There's a lot of iffy things with that still, but it's probably going to have a encounter or two you can cast it and not feel embarrassed. So not the worst of the auras, I guess. We also have Resilient Sphere. This is a sphere of shimmering force, encloses a larger, smaller area within range. Nothing of physical object energy or other spells can pass through the barrier in or out of it, which makes it kind of neat. It's immune to all damage and stuff like that. The sphere is weightless and just large enough to contain a creature inside of it. So like the fun safety ball that rolls around.
Right.
I like this thing a lot. I think it's really cool. I like that it's here because it's a very cool little tool for the Peace Domain Cleric to be like, you go in jail or you go in the protective sphere. And that's fun.
Is
That's
this
a
one
neat
on the
ability.
cleric list?
No, this is an Artifact Wizard exclusive, so this is a great
Yay.
get. Great get. We end with a not so great gets. Great Arresto and Telepathic Bond. Telepathic Bond I don't think is a cleric spell innately, so this lets you now ritual cast it, so it's kind of an extra little utility thing you get, I guess. I'm not that high on it, though. It's like, fine, telepathy is useful, but a lot of features get at lower level than this, and Greater Restoration is not something I ever really care about having. And like auto-repairing it makes it marginally better, but most of the time I don't care about any of the effects that it changes, which is like Charmed or Petrified, removes attunement to cursed magic items, cures reduction to hit or ability scores, or ends effects that reduce max HP. And those are all incredibly narrow.
Yes.
So, yeah, I wouldn't expect to find it used that much, even as it being auto-repaired. All in all, the spell list, I think, is mostly lukewarm to duds. Like, I don't think I'm thrilled with most spells on this list, but hey, you'll definitely cast Aid. You'll definitely cast here. Maybe not. You'll definitely cast Aid. You'll definitely cast Resilient Fear from time to time. You could maybe do stuff with Warding Bond. And you'll probably get Telepathic Bond to be a ritual thing that you just do every morning. That's fine.
Yeah.
Right? Any other thoughts
It's
about
all
this
right.
spell list?
No, it's not inspiring a lot of excitement in me.
Same. We've definitely talked about worse ones, but we've also talked about better ones. So
Yes.
we get Implement of Peace as our first level feature. When you choose to make a first level, you get proficiency in Insight, Performance, or Persuasion, your choice. Cool. You also get Emboldening Bond. At first level, you can forge an empowering bond among people who you are at peace with one another. As an action, choose a number of willing creatures within 30 feet of you. This can include yourself, equal to your proficiency bonus. You create a magical bond among them for 10 minutes or until you use this feature again. While any bonding creatures within 30 feet of another, the creature can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw it makes. Each creature can add a d4 no more than once per turn. You use the feature number of times you get your proficiency bonus to get the ball back when you finish a log rest. This thing is sweet.
Yes. And
right?
Even that 30-foot restriction is not so bad because it just needs to be like you just need to be within 30 feet of one other person that has this effect. So you could be pretty far spread out and everybody's still affected.
They get teams of two going out there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think this is a really cute little ability to give as a supportive cleric. I like that this is over life domain. This one is like you actually help end fights by giving people bonus d4s to hit and stuff. That's great. You just give your team all these bonuses. They can find a use for them every single turn. It's unlimited times until the duration expires, and you get a whole bunch of uses of this for basically every encounter you go into. All in all, great feature. Big fan of it. Simple, powerful, useful. Like it a lot.
Solid start.
Yep, absolutely. We get a Channel Divinity at second level. We get Balm of Peace. Starting at second level, you can use your Channel Divinity to make your very presence a soothing balm. As an action, you can move up to your speed without provoking attacks of opportunity. And when you move within 5 feet of any other creature during this action, you can restore a number of hit points to that creature equal to 2d6 plus your Wisdom modifier. A creature can receive this healing only once when you take this action. Weird? Fine-ish?
Move within 5 feet.
It's a lot of hit points.
Yeah.
Conceivably, this is like us. There was a Life Domain. They have you divvy up hit points among people. This is kind of like that, but encourages you going fast. So you might want to be like a Wood Elf or someone that gets bonus to speed, so you can like zip around, take the mobile feat, make sure you can get to everyone that you need to. This kind of lets you like play an ambulance, right, where you're running into danger to get people up, and then you can move out of danger if you need to. You can try and touch other people. You get a fun little chart out to get the most hit points.
Yeah.
It's not nothing. It's a decent chunk of hit points for a second level Channel Divinity that'll feel really good in the low tiers and get progressively worse the longer the game goes on, right?
Well, it's one of those things where like one person goes down, you tap them, get them back up, and you might as well heal some other people as well.
I really think this being both a dash and a disengage does genuinely make it kind of useful even outside of just using it to get people off zero. I think there'll be scenarios where you'll be like, oh my god, I am way in over my head. I'm going to Balm of Peace. I can't take you with me, buddy Paladin, but I can give you 2d6 hit points as I pass you, and then I'm going to leave and wish you the best of luck. And then you get to walk all the way out of there with then your movement after you dash, and you're basically getting a full 60-foot move with the free disengage and divvying us some hit points on the way out. That's all pretty action efficient in a lot of different ways, which is something to note for it, right? Normally that's either you dash or you disengage. This is a dash and a disengage and heals. It's all nice to come together, right?
Sure.
You can also healing word at the same time you use this. So you can be like, all right, I will Balm of Peace, move through all these creatures. The only one I couldn't get gets up with a healing word. Cute. Easy. Not a riveting feature, again, not going to be that powerful in the late game, I don't think. Past 5th level, it's probably going to look pretty bad. But in the early tiers, especially when things are most lethal, you're going to use it a decent amount, I think. 6th level, you get Protective Bond. The bond you forge between people helps them protect each other. When a creature affected by your emboldening bond is about to take damage, a second bonded creature within 30 feet of the first can use its reaction to teleport to an unoccupied space within 5 feet of the first creature. The second creature then takes the damage instead. This feature is obnoxious. Oh
Pretty
boy,
cool.
is this feature good. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Now it's a party hit point bank, not just a, 2 players having to be worried about going down. This thing is really, really good with well-coordinated parties. It encourages people to think about their spacing. It encourages people to make sure they're around the paladin who can jump in to save the day if something bad happens to you. It's very solid. It doesn't even care if they're attacked. It's just they check if they take damage, which is pretty good. If I don't know exactly how this works. I believe if 2 creatures fail a saving throw, like a fireball, for example, I believe one creature can opt to take the damage twice instead of having one creature. Because if one fails, the other one passes, or it doesn't matter.
Right.
If either of them would take damage, you could take the damage that you would normally take, teleport, and then take the damage again.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah. Again, comment down below, let us know if there's been tweets about that or whatever. That's definitely going to be up to the DM a lot of the time as to if that works. This feature is super cool, though, and I definitely think I can even see this using it out of combat to be like, okay, I'm going to give everyone a emboldening piece. The druid's going to bat and fly up there, and then we're all going to poke the druid until we can teleport up there with them, right?
Yes.
It's kind of cute. I like that a lot. A little bit of utility, really cool in combat, supports coordination. Love that deeply. Like, it's genuinely really sweet.
Absolutely.
8th level, we get Potent Spellcasting. You add your Wisdom to Cleric cantrip damage. We could do this or Divine Strike. Doesn't really matter which. They're both kind of bad. Anyway, level 70th level, we get Expansive Bond. So the actual last Cleric feature you get at 70th level. The benefits of your Emboldening Bond and Protective Bond features now work when creatures within 60 feet of each other. Moreover, when a creature uses your Protective Bond to take someone else's, the creature has resistance to that damage.
All right. That's
nuts.
That's not bad.
Ridiculously good.
Yeah.
It's everyone in the party has resistance to 1 instance of damage every turn. That's so good.
Yes.
Now, you do have to keep within the distance, but hey, they just upped the distance by 60 feet, so now it's even easier to maintain these kind of party compositions and stuff like that.
And it was already pretty easy.
So I will say it. Upper tier encounters do get a little bit more expansive. It becomes a little bit wider. Players need to get to different objectives a lot of the times. Again, as encounters get more climactic, it's not
Yeah.
necessarily going to be the Titan Dungeon Quarters anymore. You might be jumping on flow falling freighters from the sky, or hopping between lava moats in hell or whatever, or like little floating platforms in a lava.
Right.
This is the exact kind of capstone that I want them to make. Right? It's powerful. It feels like a 70 level feature. It rewards you going all the way in Peace Domain. It empowers the other features in an interesting fashion. Now, this feels like it's building on the base feature a lot, and it feels like it's building it on such a way that isn't something that I would expect to have baked into the lower tier features, right? This isn't like a passive D6 extra point per level up, right? This is an actual new ability that this feature kind of grants. And it's in an insanely powerful fashion, right? The 60-foot range definitely feels like it could be stapled onto the base feature, but resistance to damage, the amount of bonus hit points you're generating with this is ludicrous.
Yes.
It's so good. Oof,
and I think they did
good.
a solid job of keeping with the theme. Like you were saying at the beginning, Sanctuary kind of encourages you to just sit back and do nothing. But I mean, all of these features seem like you are going to contribute to the fight, even if it's in a passive sense. Like, I don't think you're going to be bored.
Don't be passive still.
Yes.
Still use actions viably. This is a party-wide buff. Your existence is worth more than a party-wide buff.
Yes.
A character that opts to take no actions outside of Emboldening Bond and Protective Bond is still not worth existing. You should still be casting spells that help kill enemies, debilitating spells. Even if you don't do damaging spells, Resilient Sphere is a real way that you can interact in a fight in a powerful way without directly dealing damage. You can try to finagle ways to not do damage on your sheet, but also you get potent spell casting, which says you should be doing damage, right? I don't love that it's here because it's kind of a crap
Very
feature.
little damage.
You still should be trying to end the fight. You still should have a summoned celestial out there shooting people with a longbow. You should still have your spiritual weapon out slapping people around, right? You still help contribute to ending fights and also be a cool, big, supportive, but a bulwark. All things considered, I think this thing gets an A. I like all of its features, and while the spell list is a little bit lackluster, I really do think this is pretty clean, easy, simple design that rewards all the things I asked D&D to reward. If I don't give this an A, I'm a hypocrite, because this is doing all the things that I asked the game to do, right?
Yes.
And it's doing so in a pretty interesting, powerful way.
When you mentioned before, for a well-coordinated party, some of these features are going to be insanely powerful. But even if they're not very well coordinated, these features are still going to be pretty powerful.
Yeah, and more so, at those parties that aren't coordinated, they will learn to coordinate more.
Yes.
Because they'll be like, ah, crap, I'm out of range this time. Next time, they're not going to be out of range whenever they want to set themselves up in danger, right? They're going to have the conscious thought to be like, okay, I do want to look like an idiot and dive in and kill myself, but can I do that while I'm within 30 feet of the cleric? And then you have a little bit more fun while still doing dumb things, but getting the benefits, starting to think a little bit more tactically. Love this deeply. If you're going to play a cleric for the first time, this option will be great, with the big note that we started with at the beginning that I really want to hammer home. Don't do nothing. Still take proactive measures to ending fights. Also play this and have a great time being a supportive cleric that does the supportive thing in a rewarding way, I think.
All right. That was Peace Cleric. A's all around. Good subclass. All right. Well, thank you, Sam, and thank you, everyone, for joining us. Let us know what you think down in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.